One of the most confusing parts of healing is this. Everybody is told that they need to feel their emotions, but almost nobody is taught how to hold themselves while they do that. And those are not the same things, because feeling without holding can be overwhelming and destabilizing, sometimes even retraumatizing. But holding without allowing feeling, well, that creates numbness and emotional shutdown. So today I'm going to break down the difference between feeling your feelings and holding your feelings, why both of them are necessary, and why once you learn this skill, healing will start to feel safe instead of chaotic. Hi everybody, I'm Jackie, the founder of Finding Authenticity. I help people understand their patterns, regulate their nervous system, and learn how to actually stay with themselves through emotional activation and identity change. So when people talk about emotional healing, you will often hear things like feel it to heal it. You gotta sit with your emotion and allow it to move through you. And while this advice is well-intentioned, it is actually incomplete, because simply opening the door without internal support, that's gonna feel really overwhelming to a nervous system that learned emotions are unsafe. So what happens for a lot of people is one of two things. They either avoid feeling entirely, or they will drop into the emotion in a way that is all-consuming. They become flooded by sadness or overtaken by anxiety and pulled into these deep emotional spirals. And then you end up walking away from those sessions thinking feeling my feelings just makes everything worse. So what I've recognized is what is missing isn't the willingness, it's the support. Holding is the internal experience of being able to stay present with yourself while the emotion is happening. It's that part of you that can say, what I'm experiencing is really intense, but I am still here. Holding is not suppressing your emotion, it is not trying to control your emotions, and it is definitely not analyzing your emotion. Holding is creating enough internal stability so that the emotion can move without taking over your entire sense of self. So I want you to think of it like this. Feeling is the emotion itself. Holding is the container that allows the emotion to exist safely. Because without a container, even healthy emotional release can feel overwhelming. Most people learned one of two survival strategies growing up. They learned to suppress their emotions because it wasn't safe, it wasn't welcome, it wasn't supported. Or they became so overwhelmed with emotion and they didn't have someone to help them regulate it. Very few people are taught how to stay connected with themselves while emotions are moving through them, or how to self-soothe without abandoning the feeling, or how to experience all of that energetic intensity without losing stability. So as adults, then many people swing between emotional overwhelm and emotional numbness, and neither of those states is true emotional integration. So how do you know that you're feeling without holding? Here's a couple of signs. You lose your sense of self inside of the emotion. Your thoughts tend to spiral or catastrophize. You urgently need somebody to regulate you. Or maybe you feel emotionally hungover or exhausted after processing sessions. Maybe you feel like your emotions take over your behavior and you're not actually moving through the experience. Now, none of this means that you're doing healing wrong. It just means that the container hasn't been built. When holding begins to develop, something really important shifts. Emotions stop feeling like they are happening to you, and they start feeling like something that is moving through you. Like you can feel sadness without losing hope. You can feel the fear without abandoning yourself. You can feel grief without it consuming your entire identity. And from my experience, this is the point where healing actually starts to feel different, because it becomes less about surviving your emotions and more about building a relationship with them. So from the outside, holding looks very simple. It's slowing down your breathing while the emotion moves. Noticing the sensations in your body without trying to fix them. Allowing tears to exist without rushing for them to go away or without amplifying them. or simply staying aware that you are the one experiencing the emotion. You are not the emotion itself. These are small skills, but they create so much internal safety. And this is actually one of the things that I teach inside of the Legacy Library. My library is built to help you develop real life skills that allow healing to feel sustainable and embodied instead of overwhelming, intellectual, theoretical. Inside the library, you'll find guided practices and nervous system tools and integration techniques designed specifically to help you build the capacity to be able to hold yourself when emotion arises. So if this video resonated for you, the link to my library is in the video description. If you found this helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, share with somebody who needs it. I will see you in the next video.